Chapter 1. Lucy.
There are many ways to ruin your career. Missing deadlines, insulting clients, replying all to an email that absolutely should not have been replied all to. But at Vale Industries, there is one method guaranteed to destroy your professional future. Disappointing Aria Vale. I sit at the end of the boardroom table and watch a vice president actively make that mistake. The boardroom itself is gorgeous. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlook the city skyline. Morning sunlight glints off glass towers and polished steel. The table alone probably cost more than my first car. Everything is sleek, expensive, and intimidating. Which is fitting, because the woman sitting at the head of the table is all three. Aria Vale doesn't need to raise her voice to dominate a room. She simply exists. At 34, she's the youngest CEO in company history. Multiple degrees, business magazines adore her, investors worship her, competitors fear her, employees fear her more. I should know. I've been her executive secretary for 5 years. 5 years of managing schedules, screening calls, organizing meetings, preventing disasters, and ensuring the company continues functioning around the gravitational force that is Aria Vale. The vice president finishes his presentation. The room falls silent. Nobody breathes. Aria flips to the next slide. Then the next. Then another. Slowly. Methodically. Dangerously. I recognize the signs immediately. The poor man is already dead. He just doesn't know it yet. Aria's face remains perfectly expressionless. That's somehow worse. Her features belong in a luxury perfume advertisement. High cheekbones, a sharp jawline, full lips that rarely smile, dark brows that seem faintly unimpressed by the world around her. Her hair is midnight black, smooth and glossy, gathered into a sleek low ponytail at the nape of her neck. Not a single strand is out of place. Nothing about Aria Vale is ever out of place. Her charcoal suit looks custom-made, because it is custom-made. The silver watch on her wrist probably costs more than my yearly grocery budget. She wears power the way other people wear perfume. Effortlessly. The vice president shifts nervously. Aria sets down the presentation packet. Then she asks, very calmly, "Did anyone proofread this?" Silence. The kind of silence that should legally qualify as a workplace hazard. Across the table, several department heads suddenly find their notepads fascinating. The vice president clears his throat. We were rushed. Oh no. No, no, no. Never tell Aria Vale that something was rushed. I've seen people survive worse. Aria folds her hands together. Rushed. The vice president nods. Yes. Her expression doesn't change. Excellent. For one brief moment, relief flashes across his face. Then Aria continues. Then you can explain to unemployment why deadlines defeated you. The room collectively stops breathing. The former vice president goes pale. Aria stands. The movement is graceful, controlled, final. Human resources will contact you regarding next steps. Nobody speaks. Nobody moves. Even the air conditioning sounds nervous. The former vice president gathers his papers with trembling hands and practically flees. The door closes behind him. Silence remains. Aria looks around the table. Now that we've addressed quality control, shall we continue? Every head nods immediately. I lower my eyes to hide a smile. Every woman in the office wanted to be Aria Vale. Every employee wanted to survive her. The meeting continues. Nobody makes another mistake. Not if they value continued employment. By noon, the entire building knows what happened. News travels faster than Wi-Fi around here. I sit at my desk outside Aria's office while answering emails and coordinating tomorrow's schedule. My desk is command central. I know where Aria is at all times, who she's meeting, what she needs, when she'll need it. More importantly, I know her preferences. All of them. Her coffee must be black. Not dark roast, not medium roast, specifically Ethiopian roast from a local cafe 3 blocks away. Her favorite tea is jasmine green tea. Not jasmine black tea, not jasmine herbal tea. She once spent 10 minutes explaining the difference to a confused assistant manager. The assistant manager cried afterward. Aria also has strong opinions about food. Very strong opinions. She eats strawberries, but only if they're sliced. Whole strawberries are apparently inefficient. I still don't know what that means. When I asked for clarification, she'd looked up from her laptop and said, "Have you ever met a trustworthy blueberry?" Then she'd return to work. I still don't have an answer. My phone buzzes. A calendar reminder. Investor meeting. Right. Aria left an hour ago, which means she'll return soon. Probably irritated. Investor meetings usually leave her irritated. 10 minutes later, the elevator doors open. And there she is. My heart immediately betrays me. As always.
Aria steps out of the elevator with the confidence of a queen returning to her kingdom. Her posture remains perfect. Her expression remains composed. Her scent reaches me before she does. Clean cedar wood, cool rain, expensive alpha. The scent is subtle, controlled, just like everything else about her. Unfortunately, my Omega instincts adore it. My skin prickles with heat. My fingers itch with the need to touch her perfect skin and inhale lungfuls of her alluring scent. I tell them to shut up. They ignore me. My body is lighting up with joy just from being around my Ice Queen boss. She has a powerful effect on me. Even though I'm an Omega, I'm not equally affected by every alpha scent. Aria's scent is special. I knew it the first day I started working for her. Her scent makes my mind feel clear and my body feel relaxed. That's why I'm able to work long hours around her without getting tired. Pleasing her gives me a huge surge of energy. Aria walks past my desk. Lucy. The sound of my name in her voice does ridiculous things to me. Welcome back. She nods once, then disappears into her office. I wait 30 seconds, long enough to be professional, not long enough to seem weird. Then I enter carrying her tea. Aria sits behind her desk. The massive windows behind her frame the city skyline. She looks like she owns the entire world, which, honestly, she probably could if she wanted. I place the tea beside her. That's when I notice it. A tiny wince. Gone almost instantly. Most people wouldn't catch it. I do. 5 years of watching Aria Vale has made me an expert. Everything okay? She removes her glasses, pinches the bridge of her nose. Fine. She's not. I glance downward. Her heels, then her ankles, then the angry red blisters peeking above the edge of her shoes. Oh, those look painful. The investor meeting was across town, meaning she spent hours walking in those monsters. No wonder. I hesitate, then say carefully, "May I?" Aria looks up. "May you what?" I gesture toward her shoes. Realization flashes across her face, then exasperation, then something softer. "You know this isn't in your job description." "No, it definitely isn't." "Probably not." One corner of her mouth twitches, the closest thing Aria Vale gets to a smile. "Lucy." "Yes?" "You worry too much." I smile. Occupational hazard. A long pause, then she sighs. Fine. Victory. I move around the desk and kneel beside her chair. My pulse speeds up immediately. This is dangerous territory. Not professionally, emotionally. I carefully unfasten the straps of her heels. My fingers brush over her soft skin, and my stomach clenches immediately. Her skin is like velvet, and being so close to her skin, her scent is stronger. Butterflies dance in my stomach as her muscles clench under my touch. I feel powerful, making her respond to my touch even if it's not for the reasons I'd like. Her calves tense slightly, then relax. The relief on her face is immediate. Tiny, but visible. I slide the shoes off. When she closes her eyes and sighs, I feel like I've won a trophy. Making her happy makes me happy. I definitely have a crush on my boss, and I know it's hopeless, but that doesn't make it go away. I look down at her foot. The blisters are worse than I thought. They're swelling and her skin is red and broken. My chest tightens. You walked on these all morning? They were expensive shoes, and they helped me make the right impression on our investors. That's not an answer. It was close enough. I shake my head. Then I retrieve the small first aid kit I keep at my desk. Aria watches quietly while I disinfect the irritated skin. The office grows strangely silent. Just the two of us, the city beyond the windows, the soft sound of traffic far below. And Aria is watching me. I can feel her gaze, steady, thoughtful, warm in a way nobody else ever sees. When I'm finished, I stand. One moment. I disappear into the storage closet, then return with a pair of emergency flats, because of course I have emergency flats. I've worked for Aria Vale for 5 years. Preparation is survival. She stares at them, then at me. You keep backup shoes? For you. They're your size. Why? I blink. The answer seems obvious. So your feet don't fall off. I always thought one of your heels would break someday, so I bought them as a backup. For a second, silence hangs between us. Then something shifts in her expression. Something gentle. Something that makes my chest ache. Thank you, Lucy. I help you claimed your expenses for those shoes. The words are simple, yet somehow they matter. Far too much. I help her into the flats. She flexes her feet experimentally. Relief immediately softens her features. Success! A ridiculous amount of satisfaction floods through me. If making Aria Vale's life easier was a love language, I was fluent. The realization hits me like it always does. Sudden, hopeless, dangerous. Because that's the problem. I don't just admire Aria Vale. I don't just respect her. I don't just enjoy working for her. I am hopelessly, painfully attracted to my alpha boss, to her sharp intelligence, her impossible competence, her dry humor, her hidden kindness. Everything. And nothing can ever come of it. She's the CEO. I'm her secretary. She comes from wealth and privilege. She has multiple college degrees and a stellar career. I come from ordinary stock. I have no degrees. Why would she even want me? I clear my throat. Do you need anything else? She shakes her head. No, thank you. There are boundaries for a reason. Lines that shouldn't be crossed. Lines that won't be crossed, no matter how my pulse races when she says my name, no matter how safe her scent makes me feel, no matter how beautiful she looks sitting behind that desk. Aria reaches for her tea. Our eyes meet briefly. Something warm flickers through her gray gaze. Then it's gone. The Ice Queen returns. I step back. Professional, composed, safe. Even as my heart quietly breaks all over again. Because some women belong in fairy tales, some women belong on magazine covers, and some women belong behind impossibly expensive desks, ruling empires with a glance. Aria Vale belongs to all three, and she will never belong to me.
Chapter 2. Lucy. By 8:30 at night, I am questioning every life choice that brought me here. Not the big choices. Not my career, not becoming Aria Vale's secretary. Those were excellent decisions. I'm questioning the decision to skip my second suppressant dose. Technically, I didn't skip it. I postponed it. There's a difference, a very important difference. Unfortunately, my body disagrees. I've felt slightly off all day. A little nauseous, a little tired, a little warm. I was afraid I'd go into heat, so I took a dose of suppressant early in the morning. Suppressants always leave me with headaches. I'd figured I could make it through the rest of the workday and take them when I got home. Now I only need 2 signatures before I can leave for the day. 2. Then I can leave. I gather the folders against my chest and walk toward Aria's office. The executive floor is nearly empty. Most employees went home hours ago. Only a few lights remain on throughout the building. The city beyond the windows glitters against the darkness. I knock. Come in. My stomach immediately does something embarrassing. Even after 5 years, Aria's voice affects me. I open the door. Then stop, because Aria looks different. Not dramatically, just enough. Enough that my heart skips a beat. She's sitting behind her desk with her legs stretched out, ankles crossed, reading a file. Her jacket is gone. The top buttons of her white shirt are undone. Her sleeves are rolled up. Most shocking of all, her hair has partially escaped its bun. Dark strands frame her face, softening her sharp edges, making her look less like a terrifying CEO and more like an actress in a movie, a devastatingly attractive actress. My brain immediately forgets how to function. Dangerous. Very dangerous. Aria glances up. One eyebrow rises. Lucy? I clear my throat. Sorry. For what? For staring. The corner of her mouth twitches. You've had 5 years to get used to my face? Unfortunately, it remains distracting. The words leave my mouth before I can stop them. Oh no. Oh no. Why would I say that? Aria looks amused. Actually amused. Is that so? I immediately hand her the folders. Please sign these. A smooth recovery. I try. You fail. I know, but as soon as these are signed, I'll have completed my tasks for the day. Can I leave? Sure. She accepts the folders. I sit in the chair opposite her desk while she flips through pages. The office feels different at night. Quieter. More intimate. Dangerously intimate. The city lights reflect against the glass walls. Everything feels softened somehow, including Aria. Especially Aria. She signs the first document, then the second, then pauses. Did accounting survive today? I groan. There was a spreadsheet incident. A severe one? 3 departments were accidentally informed they were being audited. Aria closes her eyes slowly. How? It involved a formula. Of course it did. The good news is that nobody cried. The day is still young. I laugh. Aria looks up. For a second, she just watches me. Something warm flickers through her gray eyes. Then she says quietly, "Thank you for the flats the other day." My heart stops. Just stops. What? The shoes you bought me. I wear them when I'm in my office now. They're comfortable. Her voice softens, and she points to the ground where the slides I brought her the other day are resting beside her high heels. My feet appreciate surviving the day. I smile, the genuine kind, the kind I can't help around her. I'm glad. A strange warmth settles between us. Comfortable. Easy. Dangerous. Then my stomach cramps. Hard. I freeze. The pain twists low in my abdomen. Sharp. Unexpected. A second later, dizziness follows. The room tilts. My smile fades. Aria notices immediately. My pheromones must be stinking up the whole place. My body is on fire. I'm definitely going into heat, and it's way past the point where suppressants would help. Aria,
My breathing becomes uneven. Oh, no. No, no, no. My suppressants. I should have taken another dose instead of thinking I'll get back home early. The realization crashes into me. Heat. I'm going into heat at work. Humiliation floods through me. I grip the armrests. Maybe it's not. Maybe Then another cramp hits, and I know. Disaster. Absolute disaster. Aria goes completely still. Her expression changes instantly. Sharp. Focused. Predatory. Alpha. Lucy, my cheeks burn. Don't. Her gaze doesn't leave mine. You're in heat. I want the floor to open and swallow me. Immediately. Preferably forever. I know. I didn't think it would come today. Another dizzy spell hits. I sway. The room spins. And suddenly, Aria is there. One moment, she's behind her desk. The next, she's beside me. Strong hands steady my shoulders. Warm. Solid. Safe. My Omega instincts immediately relax. At the same time, they become even more aware of her scent, of her presence, of the fact that an alpha is holding me. My eyes sting with embarrassment. Sorry. Why are you apologizing? This is mortifying. Lucy? Her voice turns firm, commanding. The tone slips straight past my rational brain and settles somewhere instinctive. It's going to be okay. The words shouldn't help. They do. A lot. Then my knees buckle. Before I can protest, Aria catches me, effortlessly. Aria. No. The single word leaves no room for argument. She lifts me into her arms, like I weigh nothing. My face immediately turns scarlet. At least the office is mostly empty. If this happened at noon, I would simply have to move to another country. Aria carries me through the executive floor. The few remaining employees wisely pretend not to notice. Self-preservation is a valuable skill. The elevator ride feels endless. I rest my forehead against her shoulder. Her cedar wood scent surrounds me, comforting, steadying. My frantic thoughts begin to quiet. Not completely, just enough. The parking garage is cool and dim. Aria unlocks her car, a sleek black luxury vehicle that probably costs more than my apartment. She settles me carefully into the passenger seat, fastens my seatbelt, then kneels beside the open door. Your apartment or mine? I blink. My apartment. A pause. I don't know where you live. Right, of course she doesn't. I spend more time in her office than anywhere else. I'll be okay. Aria's jaw tightens. No. The word is immediate, certain, protective. My apartment is closer. I'll take you there. I have a spare room. I stare at her. She stares back. The CEO expression has vanished. What's left is something softer, something concerned, something that makes my chest ache. Okay, I whisper. Good. She closes the door, then gets in and starts driving. The entire ride is surreal. Every few minutes, Aria glances at me. How are you feeling? Fine. A look. Less fine than before. That's more accurate. 5 minutes later. Do you need anything? No. Another minute. Water? Maybe. Actually, yes. Very much yes. At a red light, Aria grabs a bottle from the center console and hands it over. I drink like I've crossed a desert. Half of it ends up on myself, and some splashes onto her seat. Oh my God. I stare in horror. I'm sorry. Aria doesn't even glance down. It's fine. I spilled water everywhere. It's water. It's your car. It's still water. It will dry. My chest tightens. Because she's being so nice, so patient, so gentle. I look down at the bottle. You don't have to do this. Aria's hands tighten slightly on the steering wheel. What? Take care of me. I'm your boss. This isn't your responsibility. Silence. Then, Lucy, I'm your boss, so your well-being is definitely my responsibility. Her voice turns low, steady, certain.
As an alpha, I'm not leaving an omega unalone and vulnerable during heat. I swallow. My heart beats faster. Especially not you. The last words come out quieter, almost under her breath. I don't think she meant to say them. I pretend not to notice, mostly because my heart is already struggling. You don't seem uncomfortable. A laugh escapes her, humorless, brief. I'm very uncomfortable. Your pheromones are literally making my body feel like it's in an oven. My eyes widen. Aria keeps her attention on the road. I'm also an adult. The muscles in her jaw tighten. I can handle it. Something about that makes me respect her even more.
Because I can see the strain, the control, the effort, and she's still focused entirely on me. "You should worry about yourself," she says. The command settles warmly inside me. My omega instincts practically melt. "Okay, there you go. That's a good girl." The approval in her voice sends another wave of warmth through me, and her calling me a good girl demolishes whatever was left of my brain. I feel my nerves melting at the endearment, my insides turning into a puddle. This is ridiculous. I am ridiculous. Eventually, we reach her apartment building. The place is exactly what I'd expect. Expensive, elegant, modern, floor-to-ceiling windows, marble, soft lighting, everything immaculate, everything beautiful, like her. Aria carries me upstairs, straight into her apartment, and suddenly I understand why she never talks about it, because it's stunning. The city stretches beneath enormous windows. Designer furniture sits arranged with effortless precision. The entire space feels calm, controlled, sophisticated. Very Aria. She carries me into her bedroom. The room is large, warm, quiet, safe. She lowers me gently onto the bed, then kneels beside me. "You're safe." The words are breathless, urgent. "You can nest here." My instincts seize on the permission immediately. Relief crashes through me. I don't even think. I just move. Blankets, pillows, anything soft. I pull them closer, arrange them around myself. A cashmere throw disappears into the growing pile. Several pillows follow. One of Aria's sweaters appears. I clutch it immediately. It smells like her. That helps. A lot. Even a plush throw pillow somehow becomes essential. My nest grows rapidly. Aria watches the process with surprising patience, then disappears. A minute later, she returns with supplies: water, snacks, cooling patches, a heating pad. She moves carefully, tenderly, pressing a cooling patch against my forehead, adjusting the heating pad, making sure I drink, making sure I eat. Every touch is gentle. Every touch is reassuring. Every touch makes me want her closer. Nothing works. The discomfort remains, the restlessness, the ache. Not physical. It's an emotional, instinctive, my body begging for an alpha to touch me and make me feel desired and wanted for my biology. I watch Aria stand, as if she's preparing to give me space. "I'll leave you to nest in peace. If you need anything, just shout." Panic flares instantly. Before I can stop myself, my hand shoots out. My fingers catch her shirt collar. "Don't. Leave." Aria freezes. Her gray eyes widen slightly. The sight is so rare, it almost distracts me. Almost. "Lucy." My voice comes out small, embarrassingly small. "Please don't leave." Silence stretches between us, heavy, charged. Aria slowly kneels beside the bed again. "Are you sure you want me around?" I nod immediately. "I need you. Your alpha scent it's making me feel better. I need to be touched." The words escape before I can stop them.
Aria closes her eyes, just briefly. When she opens them again, something has changed. The careful distance is gone. She reaches up, brushes her knuckles lightly across my cheek. The gesture is so gentle, my chest hurts. Then she leans closer, giving me every chance to pull away. I don't. Couldn't. Not if my life depended on it. Her lips meet mine. She presses them against my mouth softly, tentatively, sending a shock wave through my system. She cups my face like she's handling something precious. My entire world stops. For one impossible moment, nothing exists except warmth, closeness, Aria. The kiss is sweet, careful, filled with months and years of things neither of us has ever said. When she pulls back, I stare at her, breathless, happy, so happy I feel like I might burst. An alpha's kiss eases the restless ache inside me. I feel wanted, desired, and my body mistakes that, thinking I'm going to be mating soon. Aria. Her name comes out like a prayer, a question, a confession, all at once. She brushes her thumb across my cheek. Lucy, did that make you feel better? Yes, but I need more. I tug gently on her collar, not wanting distance, not wanting space, not wanting this moment to end. Something warm flickers through her eyes. Then she leans down and kisses me again, and this time, neither of us pulls away immediately. The city lights glow beyond the windows. The nest surrounds me. Aria's scent fills the room, and for the first time in 5 years, impossible feels a little less impossible.
Chapter 3. Lucy. The first thing I notice when I wake up is warmth. The second thing I notice is Aria. My eyes flutter open. For one blissful moment, I'm confused. The enormous bed, the soft sheets, the unfamiliar ceiling. Then everything comes rushing back. My heat, Aria's apartment, the nest, the kisses. My face immediately catches fire. Oh no. I carefully turn my head. Aria is asleep beside me, and her arm is wrapped around my waist. My heart forgets how to function. The mighty Aria Vale, the terrifying CEO who could reduce grown executives to tears with a single raised eyebrow, sleeping peacefully beside me. The sight feels almost sacred. I've never seen her like this before. No sharp suits, no icy expression, no carefully controlled posture. Just Aria. Her dark hair is spread across the pillow. Without her usual composure, she somehow looks younger, softer, beautiful, dangerously beautiful. A loose strand of hair has fallen across her forehead. I want to brush it away. I don't. Mostly because I value continued employment. And because panic is beginning to set in. Last night feels distant now, wrapped in heat and instinct and emotions I'd spent years trying to bury. I remember Aria taking care of me, holding me, kissing me, staying beside me when I begged her not to leave. The memory makes warmth bloom in my chest. I don't regret it, not even a little. That's the problem. I should regret it. I should be horrified. I should be drafting apology emails. Instead, all I can think about is how safe I felt, how cherished, how precious she'd made me feel. For one night, I wasn't just Lucy the secretary. I wasn't the Omega trying desperately to stay professional around the Alpha she'd been secretly in love with for years. I was someone Aria wanted to protect. The realization hurts, because daylight changes everything. Heat is over, instincts are gone, reality remains. Reality says she's my boss. Reality says she's the CEO.
Reality says I probably violated about 17 workplace policies. I stare at the sleeping woman beside me. My chest aches. What if she fires me? The thought hits hard. Not because I'd lose my job. Okay, partly because I'd lose my job, but mostly because I'd lose her. No more morning greetings, no more coffee orders, no more watching her take over boardrooms, no more hearing her say my name. The idea makes my stomach twist. I can't handle that conversation. Not right now. Maybe not ever. Very carefully, I slip out from beneath her arm. Aria doesn't wake. I pause beside the bed, looking at her one last time. She really is beautiful, even asleep. Maybe especially asleep. Without thinking, I whisper, "Goodbye." Then immediately panic because that sounds far too dramatic. I grab my bag and flee. The entire commute to work on public transport is torture. The entire elevator ride is torture. The entire morning is torture. I spend 3 hours convinced I'm about to be terminated. Every email notification feels threatening. Every phone call sounds ominous. Every time someone says my name, I assume human resources is waiting around the corner. Nobody seems aware of my impending professional execution, which somehow makes it worse. At 10 o'clock, I accidentally schedule a meeting twice. At 11, I nearly pour coffee into a plant. At noon, accounting asked me a question and I answered with complete nonsense. By 1 o'clock, I'm emotionally exhausted. I can't do this anymore. I need answers, even if those answers are terrible. Especially if they're terrible. At least then I'll know. With the determination of someone marching towards her own doom, I stand, then walk towards Aria's office. My palms are sweating. My heart is pounding. This is it. The end. Goodbye, career. I knock. Come in. The familiar voice somehow makes my anxiety worse. I step inside. Aria looks up from her laptop. Immediately, her expression changes. Concern flashes across her face. "Lucy, I didn't see you this morning. I thought you'd taken the day off." That concern almost destroys me, because concerned people usually don't fire you. I hope. Before I lose my nerve, the words burst out. "Please don't fire me." Silence. Aria blinks. Once. Twice. Then genuine confusion settles across her face. "Lucy? For what?" I stare. "You know." "No?" "Last night, I threw myself at you. I went into heat at work. I didn't mean to, I promise. I didn't think my heat would come so soon." Realization dawns, then disbelief, then something suspiciously close to amusement. "Lucy."
My face burns. I crossed boundaries. You were in heat. I still crossed them. Aria closes her laptop. Slowly. Carefully. Like she's trying not to scare a frightened animal. "Lucy, I hate how gentle her voice becomes. I kissed you. You did. I begged you to stay. You did. I'm your secretary. Still true." I throw my hands up. Then why aren't you upset? Aria actually looks baffled. Why would I be upset? My eyes sting, because I don't have a good answer. Because I've spent years assuming someone like Aria could never possibly want someone like me. Because deep down, I've already convinced myself that I ruined everything. The first tear slips free before I can stop it. Wonderful. Perfect. Now I'm crying in the CEO's office. Professionalism at its finest. Aria's expression immediately softens. The Ice Queen vanishes. Completely. "Lucy." I look away, embarrassed. "Lucy." Then, suddenly she's standing, crossing the room, and before I can process what's happening, her arms wrap around me.
I freeze. Completely freeze. Aria hugs like she does everything else, with absolute commitment. Strong arms surround me. Warmth envelops me. Her cedarwood scent fills my lungs. The steady beat of her heart echoes beneath my ear. For a second, my brain simply stops. Because this is Aria. Aria, hugging me. One hand settles between my shoulder blades, slowly rubbing comforting circles. It's okay. Her voice is low, gentle, the opposite of the voice she uses in boardrooms. It's okay, Lucy. Another tear escapes. Then another. This is humiliating and wonderful and confusing, and somehow exactly what I need. Aria's hand moves up and down my back, patient, steady, like she's soothing something frightened. You didn't do anything wrong. But no. The word is firm, not harsh, certain. Your biology isn't misconduct. I know you can't control when your heat comes or how needy you become during your heats. I know that you didn't deliberately try to take advantage of me. Your hormones were ruling your actions. I laugh weakly through my tears. That sounds exactly like something Aria would say. Practical, reasonable, completely impossible to argue with. She sighs softly, then says something that makes my heart nearly stop. You're so soft. I blink. What? Aria sounds faintly surprised by her own observation, like she didn't mean to say it aloud. Then her hand strokes down my back again. You're very soft. Your body is squishy. Heat rushes into my face. For some reason, that affects me more than almost anything else. Not because it's flirtatious, because it isn't. It's affectionate. The realization makes my chest ache. I don't remember the last time anyone held me like this, like I mattered, like I was precious, like I was worth protecting. Aria's embrace becomes a cocoon, warm, safe, sheltering. For a few moments, I let myself stay there, listening to her heartbeat, breathing in her scent, feeling impossibly protected. And somewhere in the middle of it, I realized something important. The woman holding me isn't the terrifying CEO everyone fears. She's still Aria Vale, still brilliant, still intimidating, still capable of firing vice presidents before breakfast. But beneath all that is someone kind, someone gentle, someone who stayed beside me all night because she couldn't bear the thought of me suffering alone. The realization is dangerous because I already loved her, and now I'm starting to see the parts nobody else gets to see. The soft parts, the real parts, the parts that make falling for her feel less like a choice and more like gravity. Eventually, Aria pulls back just enough to look at me. Her gray eyes are warm, steady, beautiful. Feel better? I laugh shakily. A little, a little, a lot. The corner of her mouth twitches, that tiny, almost smile I've always loved. Good. And suddenly, for the first time all day, I don't feel afraid, because Aria isn't looking at me like a problem, or a mistake, or an employee who crossed a line. She's looking at me like someone she cares about. And that realization changes everything.
Chapter 4. Aria. I've made exactly 3 mistakes this week. The first was wearing those ridiculous heels to the investor meeting. The second was allowing Lucy to buy emergency flats for me. The third was kissing her. The third is by far my favorite. Unfortunately, it is also the most professionally disastrous. I stare at the spreadsheet on my monitor. The spreadsheet stares back. Neither of us is accomplishing anything. My attention drifts toward the glass wall of my office. Beyond it sits Lucy. She doesn't know I'm watching. She's focused on her computer. Her brow is furrowed in concentration. A pen is tucked behind one ear. A few loose curls have escaped from her ponytail. She's beautiful. Not in the polished, magazine cover way that people describe me. Lucy's beauty sneaks up on people. Warm smiles, soft curves, expressive eyes. The sort of face that makes strangers trust her. The sort of face that makes me want to keep looking. I force my attention back to work. It lasts approximately 12 seconds. Then I'm staring at her again. This is becoming a problem. For 5 years, Lucy has been my secretary. For 5 years, I've maintained perfectly appropriate boundaries. For 5 years, I've ignored the way her smile improves terrible days, the way her scent settles my nerves, the way she always notices when I'm uncomfortable before anyone else does. Then she went into heat. Then I spent a night holding her. Then I kissed her. Now every professional boundary feels considerably more fragile. A knock sounds against my door. I look up. Lucy is standing there holding a file. She smiles. My pulse immediately betrays me. Wonderful. Need something? I ask. She hands over the folder. Just a signature. Our fingers brush. A tiny touch. Barely anything. My alpha instincts immediately pay far too much attention to it. Lucy doesn't seem to notice. Thank God. Because if she knew how often I think about kissing her these days, she'd probably sprint out the nearest window. I sign the document. She smiles again, then leaves. The office feels emptier immediately. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I glance at the clock. 8:30. Most employees left hours ago. A light still glows at Lucy's desk. Of course it does. She works too hard. A thought occurs to me. 5 seconds later, I'm calling her extension. She answers immediately. Lucy speaking. You sound surprised. You never call my extension. Perhaps I wanted variety. A pause. I don't believe you. Fair. I lean back in my chair. Order dinner. Silence. Then, okay. For 2. More silence. Okay. I open a menu on my tablet. Get the Wagyu. The what? The Wagyu. That's $90. Is it? Aria. I hear calculator noises. Actual calculator noises. I'm serious. One steak costs $90. I see. And this salad is $32. Tragic. $32. Lucy. What? Order the salad. A suffering noise leaves her. Then, do rich people know money has value? I considered that. Occasionally. You are impossible. So I've been told. A pause. Then her voice softens. Are you sure? The question is bigger than food. I hear it. Maybe she does too. Yes. My answer comes easily. I want to thank you for working so hard. Another pause. Then, I'd like that. Something warm settles in my chest. Good. An hour later, we're sitting together in my office. The city glows beyond the windows. Takeout containers cover my conference table. Lucy is still staring at the receipt. I could have paid 2 months of electricity with this. I sip my tea. Good food is important. It's a steak. It was an excellent steak. It better have solved world hunger. I laugh. Actually laugh. The sound surprises both of us. Lucy's eyes widen. There she is. There who is? The woman who occasionally experiences joy. I narrow my eyes. She grins. Dangerous woman. Dinner gradually becomes conversation. Conversation gradually becomes something deeper. Somehow, I'm not entirely sure how. Maybe because we're both tired. Maybe because we've stopped pretending. Lucy picks at her dessert. Can I ask something? You usually do. Her nose wrinkles. Why do you work so much? I could give the easy answer, the CEO answer, the public answer. Instead, I find myself saying, my parents believed excellence was the minimum requirement. Lucy's expression softens.
I continue before I can stop myself. If I got 98% on an exam, they wanted 100. The words feel strange, too personal, too honest. They weren't cruel, I stare out the window. They were just distant, and the only way to get them to pay attention to me was my getting results that demanded their attention. Lucy listens quietly. No interruption, no judgment, just attention. It's surprisingly comforting. I spent most of my life trying to earn affection through achievement. The confession settles between us. Lucy looks down. I understand that. I glance at her. My family wasn't like yours. She laughs softly. No one has a family like yours. Fair, but I was easy to overlook. I was an Omega, and not a beautiful one at that. I had nothing that made me stand out. Something twists in my chest, because the idea is absurd. Lucy is impossible to overlook. I wasn't the smart one, she says quietly, or the talented one. Her fingers play with a napkin. So I learned to be useful. I immediately understand. Every extra task, every thoughtful gesture, every emergency pair of shoes, every perfectly remembered preference. Lucy doesn't just help people, she takes care of them, because somewhere along the way, she learned usefulness equals value. The realization hurts. Lucy, she looks up. You don't have to earn your place in a family. I've realized that recently too. Her expression changes, like nobody has ever told her that before. My chest tightens. God, I want to protect her. The thought arrives suddenly, powerfully, dangerously. The air feels quieter, smaller. The air changes. Neither of us looks away. I notice every detail. The softness of her expression, the warmth in her eyes, the faint flush in her cheeks. Beautiful. My pulse quickens. Lucy's breath catches, and suddenly I know. I don't want distance. I don't want professionalism. I don't want another month pretending I don't think about her. Carefully, I stand, walk around the table, stop beside her chair. Lucy's eyes follow me the entire time. Aria? I kneel beside her. The position feels strangely vulnerable. Good, I want vulnerability, just this once. My fingers lightly brush hers. May I kiss you? The question hangs between us. Lucy stares at me. Hope flickers across her face, then disbelief, then happiness, pure happiness. She nods. My heart does something ridiculous. I lean closer, give her every opportunity to change her mind. She doesn't. Our lips meet, soft, slow, deliberate. Nothing like the desperate uncertainty of her heat. This kiss is chosen, a decision, a beginning. Lucy makes the smallest sound. My chest tightens. I lift a hand to her cheek. She leans into the touch immediately, trusting, warm, perfect. When we finally separate, neither of us moves very far. Our foreheads almost touch. The city lights shimmer beyond the glass. The office has never felt less like a workplace. Lucy's eyes meet mine, bright, hopeful, beautiful. I brush my thumb across her cheek. May I keep kissing you? Her smile appears slowly, like sunrise. Yes, please. The single word wraps around my heart, and for the first time in a very long time, I find myself looking forward to tomorrow.
The story continues in the next part. Find the next part on my YouTube channel.